Bidermann Golf Club is a secluded 18-hole course in Wilmington, Delaware. The course, known for its serene beauty and challenging play, is managed by golf course superintendent Jon Urbanski and his crew. Urbanski talks about the history of Bidermann, including a folklore, his maintenance practices, and how his A1, A4 Bentgrass greens have been doing since being seeded in 2006.
As a golf course that sits today, 18-hole golf course was opened for play July 4th, 1965. It's a Dick Wilson designed golf course. A little history about the property itself. The land is owned by the Winnetor Museum and Country Estate. Originally there was a 9-hole golf course here for Mr. Henry DuPont. And back in the early 60s, a group of family members, cousins, brothers, what have you, approached Mr. DuPont about building a golf course upon his land, and he agreed. And Dick Wilson was building the north course over at Wilmington Country Club, which is right next door to us. And they brought Mr. Wilson over here, and this is what we have today.
Throughout history, at least one tale has stood the test of time, which includes a very old tree.
It's a Sergeant cherry. Who knows when it was planted? I mean, it's a very old, I don't know if you call it a specimen anymore. The top's been blown out for probably a couple decades, and but the history of that tree is that there is the lore that someone hit an old balata ball, took a golf shot, and it's stuck in the trunk. And over time, the tree has grown around this old balata, Titleist balata ball, and each year we cut a little bit of deadwood away from it. We have tree trunks or old stumps that hold up the branches that are kind of low to the ground, and it keeps holding on. I mean, at some certain point in time, I know it's going to have to get cut down, and a lot of our members will be very, very sad to see that tree go.
Urbanski discusses his crew and one specific creative maintenance practice that he learned from his mentor.
A great staff, one I'm tremendously proud of. You know, again, I hark back to my mentor, Dan Pearson. He taught me one thing, was always surround yourself with really good people. And been very fortunate to have incredible assistant superintendents, a number of which have gone on to be superintendents themselves. And I'm blessed to have some really good guys working with me now. Visited a neighboring course. It wasn't my idea. Give kudos to whose idea it was. It's a fellow superintendent at Philly Cricket, Dan Mearsman, and just looked at it one day when we were touring his maintenance facility, and I just said to myself, that's a wonderful idea. You know, you give this high-dollar equipment to your staff each and every day, and I think they ought to know what it takes, the undertaking, the investment, the club, the golf course, wherever you work, if it's a private club, public entity, the investment they make in the golf course itself and the equipment.
He discusses how well his A1, A4 Bentgrass greens have been performing.
A1, A4 greens, we methyl bromide the greens in 2006. They're native push-up greens, and we seeded the A1, A4. We reopened for play spring of 2007. They've performed miraculously well. I mean, it's just unbelievably how good the turf is. It was really just from the POA. The club struggled with it for a number of years, and back when we did methyl bromide the greens, I mean, there was a big movement in the Philadelphia area of people regrassing, and predominantly it was the A series, A1, A4, combination of both, and the combination seemed like it was a home run at other clubs. We didn't have time to seed it in a nursery situation, test it out here, so we went with the combo route, and it's been, again, it's been wonderful. You know, the A1, A4 takes a little bit warm weather in the spring to get going, so once it does get going towards the middle latter part of May, we really are aggressive with it. We're verticutting, brushing, top dressing. We use a machine called Planet Air on a weekly basis on our greens. So basically from the middle of May through the end of September, maybe the first couple weeks in October, again, depending on weather, we're really aggressive with our cultural practices. It's a wonderful grass. I mean, it likes the maintenance during the season. It stands up beautifully. It putts extremely well. Our members have been very, very happy with the A1, A4 until now.